Welcome to Lesson 9. In this lesson, I want to show you the sampler instrument. Now, this is one of my favorite instruments in YuStudio because it allows you to really take a sound and change it in lots of really interesting ways. But rather than talk about it, why don't I just show you? Let's start by coming over to New Track and clicking on Sampler. And now in the control panel area, you can see that I have got three choices available to me. I can have a pitched instrument, a one-shot kit, or a sliced loop kit. These are three different ways of using the sampler instrument. Over here I have as well my presets, but we'll come to those in a bit. Right now, I just want to show you the examples of each of these. So let's load a pitched instrument. I'm going to click on there, and now it's giving me the choice to make my own pitched instrument. Now there's three ways again that I could do that, but today we're just going to concentrate on the drag and drop browser option. So the drag and drop, when I click it, will open up the sound browser library. And in the same way that I was dragging my sounds over into my sequence to make a track with, I can also drag sounds into the sampler and then play them. And when I do that, it will map them across the keyboard and play them at different pitches. Now, a really good way of showing this is to load a vocal sample. If I click on vocal here, and then I'm going to come down to vocal sample because I want a short spoken one. Now I know that there's good short spoken ones in the games and films and sound effects folder. So let's come here and we can just preview them like we were doing in the last lesson.
About us.
Not sure about that.
Alert.
Alert. There we go. That's a nice quick little vocal. So I'll click and drag on there like it says, drag and drop. And now you can see that this view has changed and it's showing me a picture of what the sample sounds like. And below it I now have a keyboard, which I can also use to play the sample with. I can also open my keys panel and either
alert,
play them here or on my actual computer keyboard using the same notes. It says here A, W.
Alert.
Or I can actually press the keys here below in the sampler. Now you're beginning to notice that as I go up the keyboard,
alert,
as it changes pitch, it's also getting faster.
Alert.
Now this can get quite amusing. If I want to go up and play more, I can click on the arrow here and I can keep clicking my keyboard here.
Alert.
And you can see it's getting quite funny. I'm going to go back down to the C3. And this time, rather than going with the arrow on the side here, I'm going to use the octave minus to go down so I can play it from my computer keyboard. Because at the moment, if I press my A, it's playing C3. But if I click this button and take it so that the A says that it says it's on C2, you'll hear that it's still playing it at C3. So rather than use this, I'm going to go back so that this just stays there. And I'm going to go down on the octave on the keyboard here.
Alert.
And you can hear
Alert.
This is great.
Alert.
Lots of fun. Let's go down another one. Let's go down one more. Do that low one. And now that person is starting to sound like a blue whale or something. So that's one fun thing you can do. Let's do another drag and drop. But this time, let's clear all the searches. And this time, maybe we'll get a string. Let's just use it in a useful way as an instrument. So perhaps a violin. And I'm going to change the filter here where it says all types to sample one shot. So I just want one single sound rather than a loop. Let's click on that. No violin single samples. Okay, we'll clear the violin. There's one string sound. Let's try it, see what it sounds like. Okay, that'll do. Let's drag it in. Let's play my keyboard now. Oh, I'm still very low, going up. There we go. Nice. Excellent. Right, what I would like you to do is pause the video and have a go at doing this yourself. So I'll just do it quickly from scratch. Let's take the whole thing out. So first of all, bring up your computer keyboard, and then we're going to click New Track, Sampler, and then on Pitched Instrument, and then drag and drop, and this will bring your browser up, and pick something you like the sound of and just drag it in. If you want to make it just single sounds like I was doing, you can click here and do sample one shots. Otherwise, you can just leave it as all types. So I think I will just pick something. Let's see, brass, trumpet. Let's take a natural loop in. There we go. Excellent. Anyway, you get the idea. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video and have a go at loading your own sound. Now, it might take you a little while to get your head around it. Don't worry if it doesn't go in straight away. Just keep trying it and see what you can come up with. Okay, you're back. So now I'm going to show you one-shot mode, which is a different way of using the sampler. This way, map the sound all the way over the keyboard. But with one shot, it works in a different way. So let's click one shot now. Now what it's done is it's put the samples onto just a single note. So just the A on my computer keyboard. So if I press it, that's great. So now I can map sounds across the rest of these letters, and I can build up a little kit. At the moment, this trumpet sound is not very useful to me because it's really long. But what I could do is I could actually shorten it so it's just one bit of this sound. Now to do that, I can change the start of where the sound plays and the end of where the sound plays by using these white lines at the front. You can see if I drag it, it's actually changing where the sound will play from. So if I set it here and press A, or drag it over here, or here, or here, and so I could just drag the end so that it becomes just this short little thing. And there you go, that's all it's playing now. I've got a reverse button here so I could swap it round. But for now I think I'll leave it as it was. Right, let's click on W and put another sound in. I'm going to press the drag and drop button again. And this time I think I'll put in some, let's clear the search tags. This time I think I'll put in some drums. Now I'd like to put in a kick drum, a snare, and a hi-hat, I think. So I'm going to start with the kick. I'll click on kick. And this time I'm going to change my filter type up here from all types to sample one shots because I just want single sounds rather than loops. So now I've done that. This is all the single one shot sounds of a kick. Let's hear some. That's quite nice. That's a nice one. I think I'll drag that onto there. And now you can see I've got my trumpet on A and my kick on W. Let's go on to S and quickly let's find a snare this time. Let's have a quick look. That's all right. Let's drag that onto S. Now on E, I'm going to drag and drop, and this time we'll have a hi-hat. Let's have a listen. Oh, that's a funny one. That's nice. Let's drag that in. So now I've got on W, S and D, S and E, sorry. So now what I could do is double click on my grid. And now you can see that I've got my samples listed like a drum machine grid. So let's click on low kick and then the classic. If you can't remember what they are, click on them, it'll play. And the snare. In fact, I could just do the boots and cats beat. Let's do it with samples. So put the hats in. Oh, wrong place. Put one, miss one, remember? Here we go. Let's put loop on. Put my trumpet sound in on here. Now you'll notice it's not playing the whole trumpet sound. That's just because I've got a very short note. If I want to hear the whole note, I'm going to have to drag the note out. Put it at... And there you can see very quickly I've got my own drum kit. Now if I want to change any of the sounds, I can come back to my sampler by pressing the instrument button here, and that will bring up my control panel. And if I want to get rid of the sound that's on A, that trumpet sound, I can just click delete, and that will clear that trumpet sound and give me the drag and drop box again. And maybe what I'll do is I'll put a ride in. Let's put a ride instead. Okay, that's great. Maybe it's a little bit loud, so I can change the volume with this white line and pull it down a little bit. That's good. Now it's not drowning out my kick sound. Let's go back into our musical clip. We can do that over here by pressing clip edit, and it takes us to our clip. And I can also go back to my instrument here by pressing instrument. So that's a quick way of swapping between. I can see that my ride is off. It doesn't start on the beginning, so I'd like to move that over. And let's see what we've got now. Great. And that's the way that you can use a sampler to make your own drum kit and to make your own pitch sound. What I'd like you to do now is pause the video and have a go at loading your own sound. Okay, you're back. I think it would be good to get a bass line going. So let's go new track and sampler again. I'm going to use pitched instrument this time, but this time I'm going to use one of their presets, and we can have a quick look at that. I think I would like a bass preset. So if I click on bass here, and now I can see that I've got the different bass sounds that I can choose from. It tells me they're pitched, which means it's going to play across the keyboard. Over here you can see you've got the pitched and one-shot options. Let's try them out. That's quite nice. Quite similar. Not bad. Quite nice. That's fun. Right, I think I'm going to go for this one. Okay, so we'll close that. So that's that loaded. Now I'm going to double click and make a clip for this sampler. I can choose a key. Remember to give me the notes I want. I think I'll choose E minor. And now I can see that my home notes are lit up. So I think, oh, that's quite good. Yeah, we'll use that. Let's start there. I'm going to scroll up a little bit using the scroll bar here so I can see some more of the notes. Put the home note, the orange dot, in the middle. And I'll start by making a little pattern. Let's do something different to what we did in our weekly one. And I'm going to start by just putting them on the same note. And the reason for that is it's just easier to hear with a bass. Let's have a look. That actually sounds really good. Let's try changing some pitches now. That's nice. What happens if I make a long note? Nice. And you can see very quickly you can start to build up your own pieces of music with really interesting sounds. What I would like you to do now is to just have a go at playing with some of the presets. You can get a lot of interesting sounds just from loading the preset sounds. So if you don't fancy playing around with all of this side of things, all you have to do is just load a sound. For example, I just put a bass in, but I could change it to a cello. Let's put cello textures in and see what it sounds like now. That's interesting. What's next? Chords. Look. Look what happened. Wow, some great sounds. So just have some fun playing around with the presets. If the rest of it seems too complicated and you don't want to go in there, you can just use a lot of these preset sounds, which are fantastic. That's it for this lesson. Go and try some of those presets out. And if you feel adventurous, try bringing your own sounds in. See if you can make your own one-shot kit. And most of all, enjoy yourself. See you in the next lesson.